Hey guys, I am back. I have not uploaded a video in a month. May was extremely difficult for me, and I'll get into that in a few. But I wanted to just jump on here and do a video, chit chat with you all about a few things, what's been going on. And at first I wasn't going to do this video because I felt like I don't really have like a really big and gigantic subscriber base, which I call my family. But then I said, you know what? Someone may need to hear this. Someone may be going through something very similar, and it can uplift them. It can encourage them. It can help them to get through this rough spot, excuse me, in their life. So that's why I really wanted to do this video. Not to be sad, not to be depressed for any of you out there, but to just let you know that just because someone's behind this camera doing videos, whether they have 5 subscribers, whether they have 1 million or 4 million, doesn't mean that they don't go through real life situations. May was really tough for me. Not gonna like talk about it too much because it is a little fresh, but I wanted to just jump on here, chit chat. I know I said that, but I'm just trying to find the words to blurt it out, if that makes any sense. So my May really started off rocky. As soon as May 1st hit, it was like situations happened with my niece. I won't get all into details in that because it's my sister's business, so don't want to put that out there until I would love to do a video on that because my niece's story does need to be heard. But long story short, there was a situation with my niece that we've been dealing with for the past 2 years, and we were finally gonna go to court, and that didn't happen. So it was kind of like a toss and turn thing, and the person took a plea deal and they were in jail. So it was kind of like a rough thing going on, you know, trying to be there for my sister because I know it was extremely hard because we've been dealing with this as a family for the past 2 years. So that kicked off May. That lasted for like a week. Then I'm like, okay, we're not gonna let anything else interfere with the way we are feeling with May. I was still working out in that week's time frame, but I was really highly stressed out. Like my mental was not in the capacity that I needed it to be in. And I'm very strong. I can put on a front, put on a mask, what I call, and just not show my emotions type of things. Why my sister says I need to be a detective, police officer. So that happened, and then I took a day off like on a Monday. The next day I returned back to work. I get a phone call that my grandmother is on life support. Yeah, so I'm not gonna talk too much on that because it's still a little too fresh. So that was like another week span, you know, family, meaning my stepmom and all my aunts and uncles coming together, trying to make the best decision for my grandmother. And unfortunately, they end up pulling the plug on her. And so that was something that I was battling with for 2 weeks. Just the process of dealing with your loved one being on life support, and then once they aren't on life support anymore, letting their body do the natural thing of letting them go until they are ready, you know, to cross over whichever way you have it. So my grandmother died the day before Mother's Day, so my Mother's Day was ruined. I had tons of plans. I was gonna go get my makeup done. I was gonna I was gonna get my hair done. So I was gonna do a lot of things for this Mother's Day because I'm a mom of 2. You know, I work so hard for not only at work, but just being a mom and a wife, period. And then on top of trying to run these brands, you know, do YouTube, which is hard work, you know, putting out content and editing it, and then working on Heart Armor. And then I have another thing that I wanted to work on. So that kind of pushed everything back. And it was really tough because my grandmother raised me. So that's something that I'm still dealing with, and that's kind of why I wanted to chit chat with you guys, because I want to let you know that it's perfectly fine to grieve. Take time out of your life, your busy life, to take a moment to look at what is happening in your world. Are you happy? Are you going in a direction that, you know, you feel like is so worth it for you. And the most important thing, and it's like, I'm so surprised that, well, like I told you guys, I'm very strong, so I can put on a mask. Like right now, I probably do want to cry, but I'm not going to cry because I feel like someone needs to hear this message that it is okay when your loved one, yes, death is sad, it is scary, you know, it turns your world upside down. Trust me, I know. And this month is already, May was already hard for me because I lost my father 6 years that month. So that's why it was extremely hard for me. I was really heartbroken, still heartbroken, but that's why I wanted to chit chat and let you guys know, like, it is okay to take time out of your life. People will understand. It is okay to grieve. You have to take that time to grieve, because if you don't, you will go in a downward spiral. I took like a week off from work just to regroup, to watch TV, to do things that I typically don't do because I'm so freaking busy that I don't necessarily have the time. Like, I didn't even work out for 2 weeks. I was really just trying to make sure I did not fall in the line of being depressed again, because depression is real when someone you love loses their life or they die unexpectedly when you aren't prepared for it. And that's why I want to tell you guys, like, take a moment to breathe, to look at your life, to see the direction that you are going. Are you happy with where you are going? Because if you die today or tomorrow, what's the thing that people will remember you by? Is it because you are being positive, or is it because you were always negative? Or they will say, well, she lived her life. Like, my grandmother lived her life. She was feisty as can be. You guys seen it. She was on my channel. She was funny. She was on my channel when I did my home buying video where I toured my house.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh my.
Got it. So right here, this is gonna be Malik's room.
Right here?
Yep.
Oh. Well, good, man.
Yep, he's
You have your own room, baby.
Uh-huh.
My baby. Stephanie is my baby. She calls me no matter what. And she'll tell me that Mother's Day never the best thing I had. She wrote me a letter and she said, Grandma, I'm so happy that you're in my life. She said, you made me be the woman that I am.
You know, my grandmother is a lovable person, so I'm super happy that I was able to capture that moment on my channel. And it brought me back to thinking, like, because I was gonna give up YouTube, because I was like, I don't really feel like, I'm the type of person, I don't like to put out fake content. I don't like to put out content that is not real. So for me, I have been battling with what would be my first video coming back. And I said, you know what, Steph, we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna let people know what the hell has been happening, how you're feeling, why it's so important to take time out for you and to actually live your life and stop being all on social media. Like, social media is a great platform, especially if you are trying to do amazing things with it. But so many people get on social media and downplay even people that actually work. Like, I still work. I don't have a normal 9 to 5 because I make my own schedule, but I work. Do I love what I do? No, but it helps pay the bills. It helps to, you know, fulfill my brands. It helps to pay for stuff, you know, that I want to do. You know, I don't get paid by doing YouTube. You know, my other brand, Heart Armor, yes, I get money for that, but most of that money is always reinvested into my designs. Like, my comic book is coming out. So I literally took a moment and I said, you know, Steph, we're gonna take a time to grieve. There's a thing, like, I have my master's in human service counseling, crisis response, told you guys this before. So I know what it takes to actually, to get over something traumatic. That's why helping people is so easy for me, because I'm not one to, like, if you're crying, I tell people all the time, don't take this the wrong way. I am so strong when I can mask it that you crying necessarily won't affect me. Like, I didn't even think I would break down the way that I did when my grandmother passed away. But like I said, she raised me, you know, she took me in when I was like 12, 13 years old. So we built a strong bond together. And that's what I'm trying to remember. That's what kind of keeps me afloat on life, because at the end of the day, I have 2 kids that I still have to raise. You know, I want my children to say, dang, my mom, you know, she's overcoming these things, even though life has hit her. And that's why I wanted to get on here and tell you guys that, like, just because you're going through something traumatic, whether you're dealing with suicidal thoughts, whether you're dealing with depression, whether you're dealing with anything mental illness, because we live in a world right now in 2018 that mental illness is real. Anything can trigger it, you know, people with anxiety. And that's why I said I am taking a moment to live, to breathe, to just enjoy my life, because when you die, that's it. You can't take the money, the clothes, your house, your friends. You can't take none of these things with you. So when you die, when your moment comes to that very end, and when they say your life flashes before you, I want my life to flash past me saying I lived one hell of a mother freaking life. And that's why I want you guys to live out here. Maybe you're struggling with these thoughts. You know, maybe you lost someone very close to you, like how I did. I've been through this before. I lost my father 6 years ago. It has not been easy, and every day is a struggle. But you know what I tell people? You have to keep moving on. And I made a promise to myself. I said, June, we will no longer be sad. We will keep living like Granny will want you to be living. She was, you know, my grandmother was so proud of me. She would tell the whole world. I think before I upload this video, I upload a clip kind of like entering into like things, or I clip it, you know, when she spoke at my wedding, you know, just the most beautiful things that she said about me made me just like happy tears, not sad tears, because she's not here. It's okay to cry. Cry your ass off. I literally cried for 2 freaking weeks, to the point I was at my grandmother's funeral. I couldn't even cry anymore because I was already going through the transition of everything. And the most important thing that stuck with me is I got to see my grandmother take her last breath. She didn't suffer anymore, and she's with everyone else. She's with my dad, she's with my aunts and uncles, she's with my pop, she's with people. And sometimes you have to look at life at those things. Some people don't want to hear that. I tell people all the time, rule number 1 of helping someone grieve is don't tell them that it will be okay. We all know that it will be okay. That's life. Everything will be okay, because who you serve will help you get through those things. And prayer is so important, and it's so important to have that love around you and have people who genuinely care about what you're going through, checking up on you, reaching out to you to see how you're doing. Those things will get you through a long journey. And even if you don't have those people, you have a support system, read scriptures, read a book, occupy your mind to get you through this next level in your life, because it will be hard. And I tell you, one of my friends, literally not even 2 weeks after my grandmother passed, her grandmother passed. And I would never tell someone that it would be okay, because at the end of the day, of course it would be okay. Life goes on, it does. But in that moment, you need to take that moment to grieve. You need to take that moment of being in denial, trying to figure out your next steps, like, oh my goodness, you know, and crying is important to it as well, because you're grieving. Yeah, so I made a promise to myself when June would come that I will no longer be sad, and I'm going to get back into the grind of being consistent like I used to be back in April, because May just was like a whirlwind. It was just so much happening. Then we got a flood here. The house was going to go down. You know, May was just horrific, but we ended it with my daughter's birthday. I may vlog it, may not. So if you see it, you see it. But if you don't, I ain't feel like doing it. But I'm slowly getting back into groove of things. I feel like work has definitely helped. Work has kept me occupied, kind of getting my mind to not think about that situation. But at the end of the day, I'm very strong, and it made me realize how strong I really was. Sometimes we underestimate when people tell us, you are so strong. And you don't even realize the qualities that God has blessed you with. And I'm just so pumped that I'm not crying right now, because when I did my dad's video, I freaking cried. Even though it was like, what, year 3, 4, 5? I don't know. But you have to take time to grieve. You have to just take time to live in the moment. Like, always, something that stuck out to me when the pastor said, what will be something that people will remember you by? And like I said before, whether it's gonna be positive, negative, you lived your life, you was spicy, you was doing this, you was doing that, people will always remember that one characteristic about you. And that's what you wanna be remembered for. So I'm living. I will have more content coming. I'm trying to figure out my whole niche of YouTube. I feel like it's so oversaturated, but that won't stop me from doing what I wanna do. I'm gonna keep learning with my makeup. Of course, I ain't got no on day. I mean, this is just a chit chat, life update, helping y'all, you know, But no, seriously, it's just so much going on, so many new requirements with YouTube that it's so, I don't know what's the word for it. But I'm trying to figure out new content. I definitely want to do more meal cooking videos. I call myself the alternative queen because I love making foods that I like to eat, but are also healthy and also have, and the thing about it is people say, well, you eat like I'll do like a 2% milk or I do a skim. Listen, I'm not saying it's gonna be 1,000% healthy. I'm just want to show you guys alternative ways to make meals that you love, so that eating healthy is not hard. Because trust me, I've been doing this for the past 6 years and I think it's working. So yeah, if you guys see my video how big your girl looked, I think it's working. See, I'm realistic. I'm not one of these people out here that's gonna tell you, yeah girl, you gotta go eat that salad with no dressing. No, I'm gonna show you a way to eat food. Like I made baked mac, but I made it in a healthier way. I made it with the protein noodles. I made it with skim milk or 2% milk, or the cheese is in a skim or whatever. You just have to find alternative ways to eat the foods that you love. I need to get that trademark for somebody up here trying to steal my ish. But no, I really do want to start doing more and rename my segment for that as Alternative Queen Cooking, because I've been calling myself that since like year 2 of trying to figure out healthy foods. Yeah, so I kind of hope this chit chat with you guys, life update, whatever we want to call it, can be inspiring for you, some type of encouragement, because maybe you're going through something similar. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have an expiration date, and I just want to keep living, and I just want to keep making my family proud, and I want to just be who I was, even though I went through something so traumatic in my life. And you have to understand, at the end of the day, you're gonna go through more stuff. And this is why praying, this is why having a support system is good. This is why grieving is so important. And grieving doesn't necessarily mean you being cooped up in the house. Like I took my kids to the park on the weekends. So now I told myself all of summer I want to do things on the weekends when I'm not busy, because I want to occupy my mind and I just want to stay stress-free, because it's so easy to become stressed when you're dealing with so much. So I really hope you guys like this video. At first I wasn't gonna do it because, like I told you guys in the beginning, I was worried about something else, but I'm like, that's not even me. I don't do videos because of getting millions of views or getting millions of people to follow me. I just want someone to watch my video and to hear my story, and maybe their story is very similar and it can help them get to the next phase in their life. So June, we about to be coming full force. I'm praying, let's change that. I will be uploading 2 videos a week and getting back on the grind of doing my designs for my heart armor. And I have another beautiful thing coming. I do want to do a nonprofit because we have so Baltimore has lost so many recreation centers, so I have a really great and dope thing that I'm working on. Want to work some stuff out before I tell it, but I'm really excited for it. So love you guys. Hope this video inspired you. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you are new to the channel and this is your very first video you're checking out, don't forget to subscribe so you can see more. And let's keep making magic, and let's just keep inspiring no matter what we are going through. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.